Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel Twin Flame Spirit. My name is Yvonne, as I'm now writing in my videos, and we talk about twin flames here and about self-healing, the path to yourself, becoming your true self, deprogramming of societal norms and rules, and just not give a damn of what others think, and just become who you truly are and you are truly meant to be. That's actually what your twin flame is triggering you into. And if I say trigger, that doesn't mean like he has like an arrow or a pistol or whatever and he hints at you and points at you and goes like, oh, I'm gonna trigger her. Actually, no, that's not how mirroring goes, because the topic of today's video is this is how he mirrors you, this is how they mirror you, right? And by saying that, it's not an active verb of like they get up and they're like, let me mirror Yvonne today. No, that's not what they do. They just do themselves. They're just being themselves, and the triggering is happening on your side. That's actually pretty important to mention, I think. It's not that you can't like aim at triggering someone. Of course you can like make someone react or provoke, but that's not what like psychological triggering is. Psychological triggering is that it happens on your side. Something gets to you, and the other person a lot of times doesn't even know what's happening or what just happened or what's the issue, what's the problem. But since it's such a deep core wound like that, they're not pointing at, but they're bringing up in you, and it doesn't have to be your twin flame. Everybody mirrors you. Everybody can be a mirror to you. The world is a mirror, as you've heard me say, I hope in every video, otherwise I missed to mention something. So the world is a mirror, and your twin flame is a mirror too. As you know, right? I think in the twin flame community, like that's something everyone agrees on. Like they're your biggest mirror. They do bring up your deepest wounds, your insecurities, everything. So how do they do that? How do they go about it? Like, I still want to like sort of move away from them, and once again, as I always do, focus on you. So we will stop talking about them, because as I said, it's not an activity they have as a hobby. It's like, oh, I'm triggering my twin flame, I love it. They're just being themselves, and as I said, the what happens as a reaction is on your side. That's why it's also your work to take care of it. It's your work and your duty and your task to look at it, to see what's coming up for me, what is making me react. I work with the mirror exercise. I work with other tools too, inner child work. So all that, right? If you work with me, by the way, reach out if you want to work with me. I'd love to support you on this path, to true love and to your true self. So yeah, so back to the mirroring, because I want to talk about a comment I got on my last video. I don't even remember what the title of the last video was, but I remember that I thought, oh, this comment is significant, this is an important comment, and the person really wanted an answer. Can I mention the name? I got in trouble once in Italian because I mentioned someone's name and they were like freaking out and like, oh my gosh, data protection, you can't mention my name. I was like, why don't you get an account where your name isn't spelled out? And second of all, you don't go on my channel and comment if your name is showing. Like, why is this all of a sudden my responsibility? So anyways, this is a FT. I'm just saying the initials because this person was smart and was like, I'm not gonna reveal my full name, I'm just gonna say the initials. So this person left me this comment that I'm gonna read to you. And from there, I wanna talk about something crucial. I know I talk about it a lot and some of you are sick of it, about, false and true twin flame, basically. Like, true love and non-true love, right? Remember, the last video was like, whoa, if he kidnaps you, treats you bad, blah, 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 he's not your twin flame. So that's what the person commented it on. I'm just going to read it to you and we're going to take it from there. So, hi Yvonne, being very polite. Are you 100% certain of all these examples? So as I said, it's one of my shortest videos where I go, if they mistreat you, control you, kidnap you, threaten you, all these things, right? Are you 100% certain? Doesn't a twin flame mirror your wounds from childhood? So if you grew up with parents who lied, deceived, manipulated, controlled you, won't your true twin flame mirror that, or in order to help you heal? I greatly appreciate your wisdom. Sorry, that was important too. I greatly appreciate your wisdom on this because I unfortunately come from an exceptionally toxic family of origin, and abuse was basically all I knew. So thanks ET or FT for the comment. So yeah, I want to build on that. So very important. So she's describing someone who basically treats her the same way that she was traumatized by, right? So her parents were toxic, controlling, all the things she said. And she goes, as you all heard, well, your twin flame has to help you heal. So isn't he the one doing these exact same things? The issue with that is, as I always say in every video, that isn't love. This sort of behavior is not love, right? To mistreat you. And that's why I'm always making such a big point of this, because I know many of you out there, I'm always saying younger people, like in their 20s, but I could be, mistaken and not being truthful to them, not being, what's the name or whatever, underestimating them basically, because I do think the more and more people meet their twin flame in an earlier age, like I met mine way back too, but of course like then the meeting again only happened a little bit later. But I just want to say, like, it does, in my opinion, it does take a certain life experience to know what true love is and what isn't. And you can be very certain at 17 that you're so in love with your one true love and they're the best and the only one and oh my gosh. And then it turns out, oh no, they're actually not. They are actually just mimicking, again, not on purpose, it's just something that happens, your parents' behavior. Like you just feel at home in an abusive setting, let's say. Your twin flame, on the other hand, is something completely different. So true love doesn't do these things to you. And the question is in the comment, well, how do they mirror you if they don't do these exact same things to you? Well, mirroring doesn't happen by something like the same thing being reproduced again, right? Of course that can happen. That's patterns, psychological patterns, like what she's bringing up. Or if your dad was an alcoholic, you're more likely, if you don't work through it or become aware of it, to then go with an alcoholic again. Like that's a very simple example, but just as an example, right? example. So the mirroring is something else. So you growing up in a family that was all these things, right? You most likely, you didn't learn what true love is. You didn't learn that you can trust, that your environment is safe, that you can relax. You didn't learn that people want your best. You didn't learn, and by learn, I don't mean you had like a book and a lesson, but through life experience, right? Life didn't teach you that love is beautiful. Life didn't teach you that love is safe. Life didn't teach you, or your childhood didn't teach you, that you can relax into love and be fully yourself. That your feelings are important, that your needs are important, that you are important as a person. You didn't learn all these things in that setting. So you were programmed to, as a consequence, not trust, feel threatened, feel unsafe, and all these things. But it doesn't take a person to be toxic for you not to trust them. You know what I mean? Your twin flame will show up in love because they are love. They love you. They are in love with you, and they fully, on a soul level, fully love you. That's why they're doing this, this awful job, which no one else wants to really do, to mirror you, like to show you where you're standing in your own way. So they might be very loving towards you, but you realize you can't trust them. So you're like, I can't trust them, what is this? And that would be mirroring. Or you will project onto them like they're unfaithful. Like, I can't trust the man, they always, screw around. Sorry, can I say this? Yes. So he'll eventually, it's not that he's going to go out and do it, but through your constant fear that that might be happening, like you're projecting that onto him, and when you're so like certain about something that you believe, you will find proof for it, right? Maybe he forgets to call you one day and you're like, see, I knew I couldn't trust you, right? Which ultimately comes down to, with the mirror exercise, you can't trust yourself. You're not trusting yourself to trust that you pick the right people to trust, right? Or you don't trust yourself that you can handle not getting a call. Like, this could go on and on now, but so they're mirroring in love, through love, by being loving. And I hear all the twin flame community now scream out loud and go, why would they block me? Or why would they have nothing to do with me if they loved me? Well, that's just for you to have space to heal through whatever you need to heal through, because they're like, okay, I showed you you couldn't trust, I showed you whatever it is, you think love is toxic, I showed you thought love isn't safe, now go figure it out, go heal, basically. They don't need to stick around and trigger you every day again by being there, because it's such a pure, divine, powerful, huge, unconditional love that's basically in your face every day. If they're sitting next to you every day, that it will trigger you again and again and again and again. Whereas with a more shallow love, like a more 3D normal kind of relationship love of like, oh, I love you and let's make love, and no judgment in there, but that is less intense and less in your face and less triggering, you like those wounds and insecurities might fly under the radar, right? Is that the right expression? You might not notice them because you're like, oh, I'm never jealous. Oh, by the way, jealousy is a very good example. I don't know how many clients I have that go, I'm usually not jealous, but with him or with her, I don't know what it is. And it doesn't even have to be other, like if you're a woman and you're with a man, it doesn't have to be other women that trigger you. It can be anything, like spending time with his son or his parents, or he's choosing them over you sort of thing. Like the jealousy thing comes up so often, I can't even tell you. So that's a very good example. Let's say you're this much not jealous, you're like secure and safe. You're like, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I rock, I work on myself, like I'm amazing. So I have no reason to fear that, he will not choose me. So with every man on the planet, a relationship or a whatever it is, an encounter might work just fine, because they don't get through on below these 90%, how much did I say before? I don't even think I said a number. These 90% of, or 99% of, oh, I feel so safe and secure and confident in myself. Then along comes your twin flame, as they always do, like in their giddy way. They come and they're like, hey babe, I'm just being me. Let's hang out tomorrow. And you hang out, and the next day he doesn't call you right away, or whatever it is, or you spend 2 years and all of a sudden, whatever it is, he has a new coworker and she's beautiful, and boom, there it is, jealousy. And you're like, what is happening? I never felt this in my life. And yes, it takes a twin flame to get to the bottom, like to the root and to the deepest wounds that a lot of people wouldn't even trigger in you. That's not true for all the wounds, because many times, like, it's not new stuff your twin flame is triggering in you, but already things you're aware of, or that like past boyfriends have triggered too, or friends trigger, whatever it is. And then it's just a new dimension of triggering when they come along. But it's not something completely new, like it's something you're aware of, but it's just heightened with them, right? It's like a HD, do you say HD? HD mirror, like a really clear mirror through them. So yeah, but back to the comment I read, right? So they're being loving towards you. That's why it's so important. I always stress that. Being loving, or love in general, like real love, you feel real love, even if someone blocks you. It sounds weird, I know. Or if someone, like, I have that one video that most people watch, or that's how they come onto my channel, where it's like, no, with this sentence, you know, that they know, basically, like this sentence. And then there's a list of sentences of like, you are me, we are one, I waited for you always, you're my missing puzzle piece, like all these sentences. And there's people commenting on that like, oh, so cheesy, right? Anyone could say that. Of course, that's just a player saying that, or a narcissist. No. So that's how they don't get what sort of love this is, you know, that this is real, and that you feel the love in these sentences when it's said by your true twin flame, that it's not cheesy at all, it's truth, and you feel it. And that's how, you know, that's what love is. So you can't really define it. Like you can, that's what I do in my videos. I try to define what is love, what is non-love, you know, but it's either or. It's like black and white. It's either or. It's not, either it's love or it's not love. And when it's not love, someone can be controlling you, being toxic towards you. Like all this stems from their own wounds, of course, right? Hurt people. That's one of the best sayings ever. Always true. If someone is fully at peace with themselves and fully healed, they're not going to come into your life and torture you, right? By the way, you let that happen, you attract that so you can heal. It doesn't have to be your twin flame. But when your twin flame comes along, when you're ready for that encounter, when you've healed either enough or I don't know, I'm not fully, you know, certain how it happens, if that is all like planned in advance when you meet, or I'm not sure about that part. But when you do meet, you're ready to go to that layer, that bottom layer of like, okay, I'm pretty much at peace with myself, but oh my god, you know, I forgot about the bottom layer here, and they're going to be triggering that. So again, I hope I explained it well, but I think I can probably not go into forever depth, you know. It's just, as I speak, I try to, you know, be clear about it, and I'm sure you sort of get it. It's just that they will never do the same thing to you that traumatized you. But let's put it that way. Yet, if you don't trust love, they have to show you that you don't trust love, which could be by, you know, walking away, let's say, or by behaving in a way that you're like, see, I'm right, it can't be trusted, right? So that's how they mirror you, by being loving and kind, yet maybe rejecting you, leaving you on your own and all that, so you can heal, but it's to your best, and you both know that. On a deeper layer level, you know that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share today. Thanks so much for being here and for following. Like, subscribe, reach out if you want to work with me. We have a nice English group going on, so don't hesitate. It's never too late to get up and do the work. I'm going to do another video with people who, for some reason, don't do the work. But for this one, thanks for your attention, and I love you all, and all the best to you. Bye guys.